Hey there, what's up guys? Bryan here. Welcome to the final episode of this Lockdown Guitar Lessons series. And today I'm just going to go into a little bit of modes. So like an overview of what they are. This can be very beneficial for you guitar players out there because it allows an alternative way or a few different alternative ways of jamming, which is basically creating melodies. It also sets a mood and it sets a theme, creates different colors in the same way that extensions in a chord do. So the idea is basically you start with a scale. Let's work in the key of C, C major scale. If you play exactly the same notes but just starting on a different note, for example, let's start on the second note of the scale, which is D, and play exactly the same way up an octave. That's going to be called the second mode of the C major scale, which gives us Dorian. And that the fact that it starts on D means that it's a D Dorian. From then on, you can generate 7 different modes of the major scale. And those different modes will have their own flavor because of the different scale spellings, meaning you'll get flat thirds or flat fives sometimes. When we're talking about D Dorian, we're comparing the different notes in that scale with the root of D. So this one in particular, the D Dorian, it sounds quite minory. That we would have heard in another context, in a minor scale context, like a natural minor scale. So we know that it's got the flat third. So over here we've got B in relation to D is actually going to be natural 6. The flat 7, and then back up to the root. So each mode has its own flavor, almost like its own specialty. And in this case, for the Dorian, the natural 6 is its specialty because it's a major 6 and not a minor 6. Some people have called it the happy minor because it's essentially the minor scale, the natural minor scale, with a flat third, flat 6, flat 7, but you just naturalize the 6. Rather than. So the main note here, the main difference is from the B flat and the B. And we can compare that with the natural minor scale, which is actually also just another mode that's derived from the C major scale. If we start the C major scale on the note A and just play the C major scale up from A, and again, that's an A minor. A natural minor scale. The modal name for it is going to be Aeolian. So A Aeolian is the 6th mode that's derived from the C major scale. And it consists of the flat third, flat 6, and flat 7. Also good to note that they are relative major and minor keys. So C major is relative to A minor. I'll link the video up over here. Just before we put it into context and try and jam on these modes, there are different ways of thinking about these modes. One way to think of them would be to find out how many sharps and how many flats each mode consists of, and assign them to how bright they sound. For example, the Lydian mode is supposed to be the brightest sounding one with a sharp 4th. So C Lydian is going to be the C major scale with a sharp 4. And we can assign them to the different chords as well. In this case, it's going to be the C major 7 with a sharp 11. So in a sense, if you were to play over this chord, it would be kind of wrong if you played an F in it on a strong beat or something. Because you really need an F sharp. So the Lydian mode is brighter sounding than the major scale, which is all naturals, no sharps and flats. And then you get into one with one flat, which is the Mixolydian mode, and it's basically the C major scale with a flat 7. And it's used over a chord which consists of a flat 7 with a major 1, 3, 5. So in other words, it's a dominant chord. If you pay attention to what your ears are telling you as well, I think most of the time you can trust them. If it sounds like it fits, then it's probably okay. Right, let's compare. If we were to play in an E groove, okay, E5 or E minor groove. I'm going to try and play the E Dorian on the E drone. In a sense, I was playing D major scale, all the notes that were in D major scale, since the E Dorian is the second mode that comes from the D major scale. But in this case, I didn't think of it as playing in the D major scale. I even just focused on the 6th note, which is the C sharp. That's what gives it its flavor, its distinctive feature of this mode. Now I'm going to play the E Phrygian mode, which is the 3rd mode that comes from the major scale. So if we count down E, D, and C, it's actually just the C major scale, starting on the E. And let's hear what flavor this gives us. Kind of Eastern and mysterious sounding. In both jams just now, I was playing over the same chord, just an E drone. It could have been an E power chord, or it could have been an E minor chord. But what I mean is basically you have the same background, but what you generate above that can be different depending on which mode you choose. So modes give you choices. It gives you more freedom as to what sound you want. Thank you so much for watching this video. Since you made it this far, I hope you got something out of it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and go and watch more videos. Don't forget to ring the bell as well. Cheers.